We're back with another episode. We're back with another episode of Britt Says. Yes. Oh my gosh, we are back. This week went by so quick to me. Like, it went by super duper quick. I'm excited because who's completely over 2020? Raise your hand. Me. This week I didn't do much. This weekend was my mother's birthday, so we did a dinner and stuff. I'm trying to think, did I do anything else special? No, I don't think so. I say no, I don't think so. You know, it's just been a chill week. Went by super quick for whatever reason. I am here for it. What have I gotten into today? Actually, I was watching a podcast. You guys probably know or don't know. The No Chasers podcast with Tim Chantarantsu, Ricky Shucks, and Nikki Blades. And what happened towards the end of the episode, it was last week, because this episode's coming out Monday. Last week's episode was basically Ricky Shucks and Nikki Blades had a little debate because they were talking about basically men paying on the date or not on any date. I don't know if they were saying first date, but it was just any date or whatever the case may be. And you know, obviously Nikki Blade, she was just like, when I go on a date, I'm not paying on the date, period. If I'm paying, then I feel like me and you was just friends. And Ricky Shucks felt like that was stupid or whatever the case may be. So it was just a hot topic. Like, Ricky Shucks had good points. Nikki Blades had good points. Ricky Shucks was just saying that's dumb because, like, if you go out on a date with somebody and you go out on a date with a guy and you connect with him, but he didn't pay for the first date, but you thought he was mad cool, he was a vibe, but he didn't pay, he made y'all do 50-50, you dead going to end it with him. And for me personally, I have never paid on a date 50-50, none of that. Thank God. I think that with younger people, like when people go on dates at 14, 15, 16, maybe they might split a date because, you know, they're young, they don't have money like that. I'm not sure. I'm just saying. Okay? Maybe even 18, 19, 20. I'm just thinking in my head, like, at that age, a lot of people don't have a job. I don't know, but that's, to me, is some young shit. Or it's just, you know. And I know people who that incident has happened to, and they're not with that guy. And what Ricky Shucks was saying was like, but that's dumb because, like, why does it matter who pays for the date, who's paying on the date, And then they were saying that if I'm the one who asks you out, then I'm gonna pay for the date. Even that, like, even for me, like, if I'm like, yo, let's go out, I'm off the market, thank God, because this is obviously a lot of problematics going on. But if I'm like hit up a guy I'm talking to and I'm like, oh, we should go out, I still don't expect to pay for the date. I swear to God, I don't. But I heard that's the thing, or whatever the case may be. So basically, for me, I get the ideology that is stupid to, like, basically not want to date a guy any longer because he didn't pay for the date. DK. But I feel like due to societal norms, right? We've been raised from the millennials down. I don't know if Gen Z, how the parents are raising them. I can't speak on that. But I know from millennials and down, meaning the people under us, we've always been taught the notion that a man is supposed to pay for the first date. Or I mean, on other dates, not all dates he has to pay. I mean, we could split. Like, we've been dating for mad long. Maybe, you know, you could show him like, oh, I'm a boss too, or whatever. So let's just say for the first date, whatever. We've been taught that on the first date, the guy is supposed to pay. Like, that's what we've been taught. So I feel like a dude who doesn't want to pay on the first date, like, he wasn't raised properly. And I'm not even trying to be funny, or maybe he like might have beef with his moms or something, or even his pops. because y'all get what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a problem with the idea of 50-50, right? I get what Ricky Shucks is saying. Like, that's dumb. That's dumb to not want to be with somebody who you connected with, clicked with, had mad fun with, but he didn't pay for the date, so now it's dumb. In reality, it's dumb. But for me, because we were all taught that, for him to say, I'm not doing that, speaks volumes, because it's a societal norm that we're raised on, and it's a thing that we're taught. So I don't feel like that guy is trying to go against the grain. Some people might view it as that. I feel like he's being bummy. Like, I really do. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, from millennials down. Now, is it dumb? Yeah, you could say that. But if that's something that we no longer want to do, then we would have to raise our sons and daughters like that. If that's something that has to end, sorry, it's not ending with millennials, because we already was taught that. But if that's something that we want to do, is start doing 50-50 dates or whatever the case may be, y'all gotta raise your sons and daughters on that. Like, yeah, in reality, is it stupid? Sort of. Because if I click with you, I'm gonna really end you over not paying on the first date. I mean, those are things we're taught. And I understand we're supposed to break generational curses. But if we're already kind of in it, the way you break a curse is for the generation to come. You get what I'm saying? And from my understanding and most experiences, when the guy doesn't want to pay on the first date, it really is a representation of where he is financially, how he's gonna behave financially. He might not even be broke, but he's gonna be cheap. And yeah, it's good to be cheap. I'm cheap, but to what extent? You get what I'm saying? Like, in some ways, usually for the most part, like, I would probably say maybe 8 out of 10 times, a guy who is not willing to pay on the first date, it speaks volumes about how he behaves going forth. Unfortunately. And I think that's also due to societal norms. And even for, like, I'm wondering, like, does Ricky Shucks pay on the first date? Like, is he the type that's not willing to do that, or whatever the case may be? Because he was going hard. I wonder if he was just saying that, but he doesn't do, but he still pays. Like, I wonder, because, like, for me, like I said, I get why he thinks it's dumb, but I still have expectations that if I was single, because I'm not single, and I was to go on a date with a guy, I would expect him to pay on the first date. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that he's not living foul. I mean, he has a girlfriend. He's dating the girl on Instagram, Twitter Bay. You know, she's with him, so we don't know. We don't know. But it was an interesting conversation. Nikki Blaze was getting a little tongue tied. I don't feel like she was getting tongue tied. I feel like she was saying what it was. Like, that's what it is. Like, that's it. And unfortunately, there's no real realm of reason behind it. But like I said, you know, if your moms, I feel like a man who don't listen to his moms is somebody I don't want to be with, period. Your mother told you, hopefully, because honestly, now it's going to get too far. You know, this is the introductory talk. But, you know, do mothers, and a lot of times, you know what they say, you know, mothers love their sons and raise their daughters. So a lot of times, you know, especially now, like our generation, the mothers didn't even tell their son how to be chivalrous. They didn't tell them, like, oh, pay for a girl's date, open the door for a woman. You know, they don't even teach. What the fuck is that generation before us? They just was feeding for their sons, like. And your son is a hot ass fucking mess, and we gotta deal with him. We talk about this in the podcast all the time. Okay? Alright? So we don't even know what the fuck their mothers done did. Their mother probably even never taught them to pay on the first date. So we don't even know. No one knows. But, you know, let me know how you feel. I don't know. But it was interesting. You guys can go check it out. I don't care to give a plug, because they got more followers, subscribers than me, so it's not even giving it a plug or whatever. They don't need me. So yeah, you guys could definitely go check it out. It's called No Chasers. Tim Shantamasu, Ricky Shucks, Nikki Blades. And it was the last week's episode, like the most recent one. I don't know if they're gonna put out an episode. I don't know when you watch this, but yeah. It was that episode. And yeah, they talked about it. Or go check out Tim Shantamasu's IG page, because I think he brought it up on there. But last week we spoke about different types of men and the pros and cons, because I said how to deal with them, but I wasn't really saying that too much. So, you know, I can't be I forgot. I had the word in my head. But basically, you know, I gotta talk about the females. We're not perfect, you know. We have many personalities. I only came up with 7, surprisingly, and 9 for men. But I know there were some that we are leaving out. And you know what? The podcast would be 8 hours. And that is a day shift. And you wouldn't even listen to the whole thing. So, yeah. So today, we're going to talk about that. And yes, let's get into it. So, there is no, whatchamacallit. Oh, and if you know, you just ran into this video, whatever the case may be, definitely go check out the different types of men and the pros and cons, or how to deal with them, or whatever. So, yeah. There is no expand your mind, because we're just going to jump into it. So, the first girl I put was the gold digger / city girl, because you know city girl is more of a 2020 2019 term for basically, you know, a gold digger. But is it? Because I feel like, let me get my water. You know I just got a new water bottle. Is that, oh no, that's called a sugar baby. Because I was like, is a gold digger a girl who likes to date older men with money? I feel like back then that's how it was portrayed, because it felt like most men who had money were older or whatever. But yeah, gold digger, city girl, same thing. Basically, you know, city girl, she's about her bag. Just speaking of motherfuckers not paying on the first date, a city girl, bitch, if you tell her you're not paying for the meal literally while you're sitting, she wouldn't even entertain a man like that. I think they could feel an energy, a city girl, where if she wouldn't even find a guy who behaves that way. They only take ballers and shot callers. Okay. Like, that Ricky Shuck shit, she's not dealing with him. She wouldn't even entertain him. She would just be like, wow. Whoa. Like, things like that scare city girls. Yeah, they say ballers, shot callers, drug dealers, all that. That's what they do. Like, you better come to the bag. City girls, they are very... And they're rude. They're out of pocket. They say stuff like, you know, he ate my box and I left. You know, they do things like that. They're out of pocket. They're disrespectful. We don't know. Feminist society. Is that disrespectful to get your box eaten and then leave? I don't know. That's the type of energy they're on. They're getting Birkin bags, Fendi shoes. Period. Across the fucking board. And I think, can you date a girl, you know, that's very materialistic and, you know, obsessed with dating a guy that's all about money? Like, I think one of the top concerns that people get with dating a gold digger, I mean, is, does she love me? I think you can be a gold digger or city girl and still seek love. It's just that one of your preferences or traits is that he has to have money. He has to have money. He has to be one of the sports. That could be a trait. I feel like sometimes, you know, that the city girl gets a lot of flack, but I feel like it's nothing wrong with wanting a guy who has money. I feel like this money thing comes with a negative connotation, like, oh, money isn't everything. Money isn't everything. I mean, but it's helpful. You feel me? It comes with a negative connotation. So people think that automatically when somebody only cares about money, then they don't really love the person, which is not true. Because number one, you can fall in love with someone with money. Like, there's plenty of, I'm assuming, you know, guys that's mad rich and sweethearts and hopefully faithful and things like that. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that being a requirement. Like, my dude has to be a baller, like, for real. Like, but you know, city girls get a lot of flack. Can you date one? Yeah. Is she? I mean, it's nothing. What I'm saying in hindsight, is really nothing wrong with wanting a guy that wants money. But sometimes that's all they looking for is money. They're not looking for love. That's technically the gold digger city girl mantra. Like, you know, city girl say that in the song sometimes. Like, I ain't looking for love. You know, I'm looking for the bag. Blah 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 blah. Fuck niggas get money type shit. So I mean, that's the downfall. I mean, you gonna have to, if you fall in love with a city girl, you gonna have to work hard to get her to fall right back in love with your ass. So what can we do? The second girl, the stay in the crib ambition list. Okay, first of all, nothing wrong with staying in the crib all the time, but you gotta have ambition. So if you're staying in the crib, you gotta be doing something. But I heard there's a market of girls who, like, which is so fascinating to me, who really, like, don't like to go out. Like, I thought that was a dude thing. Like, cause sometimes guys, they'll be like, I don't want to go nowhere, I don't want to go out to eat, like, being mad annoying. But there's girls like that be like, yo, let's just watch TV, like, let's order Chinese. Like, Chinese sound good, but I cook dinner. I ain't eat Chinese food in mad long, not because I'm racist, because of Corona. I didn't eat Chinese food because I think they racist. When they did that shit with the black people, I said, you know what, I'm not fucking with them for a minute, for the rest of the year. So I haven't ate Chinese food in mad long. I ate some steamed dumplings though, so maybe I cheated. But anyway, back to the topic. They just like to stay in the crib. Like, they're not really ambition driven. And I think it's interesting that there's a market for that, because I think we view women, I think now in this generation, like 2020 and maybe like up until, like, I don't know, the 2000s, women are so that we work, you know, back then, you know, stay at home mom or wife was the thing. But I feel like it's so, I don't know how rare it is, but I remember I had John Bills on one of my episodes, the first episode of season 2, and he brought that up. Like, it's dead girls like that, you know, that you gotta push them to, like, even do different things, to even be driven, to, like, you just gotta, like, push them. And I'm just like, it's a market for that. But I could imagine, I think some guys might like that. A girl, do they? It might be a market for that. You know, a guy who likes a girl who likes to stay in the crib. I don't know. Maybe, because some guys like to stay in the crib. Get a stay in the crib bitch, gotta get a stay in the crib nigga. Period. I think that's the only way that could work. Honestly, because you can't, one person likes to go out, the other one don't. That's just a recipe for a disaster, or whatever the case may be. For me, ambition is like somebody who's just like, I don't believe in that with men, and so I won't agree with it with women. Definitely as a female, I'm definitely not gonna advocate that lifestyle. It's a dub for that, a whole big entire dub. But you know, she stays in the crib, she does her thing, she's never left her borough. If she's from Brooklyn, she's been only in Brooklyn. If she's from the Bronx, she's only been in the Bronx, and that's that on that. She knows all the spots in the Bronx, she knows all the spots in Brooklyn, wherever she lives, and that's just that on that. You know, what can we do? I'm just like, is there guys out here really dating girls like that? There's a market for that. That's so fascinating to me. I feel like that's such a guy thing, but I could respect it if it's a girl that's like that, but not ambitionless. Because you could stay in the house and be full of ambition, just like doing your thing, working on your business. But if you really like, it's girls like that too, that really, they like to stay in the house, they like to be hood and just give a fuck about niggas. I hate it. All I care about is niggas, girl. Like, ugh, I should have put that down. Like, that's all they know are men. They don't know nothing. They don't know politics. They don't know what the fuck going on. Like, bitch, you don't even know celebrity gossip. Celebrity gossip is not relevant, but you don't even know that. All you know is men. They could talk about sex, dick, penis, niggas all freaking day. Those are the type of bitches that stay home all fucking day. Some of them be out. Because you could be a working hoe and still all you focus on is men. And that's a troubled world to live in. Is if your main focus in life is men. And that's why I don't like some of these black shows coming out. Like I was talking about with Sister, how they was just so boy crazy. And so was Moesha. Like, that's why that was one of my pet peeves of 90s, early 2000s television. Because that's a scary, scary, scary lifestyle to have. Boom. Next girl is the Mixie girl. So we got Mixie guys, Mixie girls. A Mixie girl to me is a recipe for disaster. Mixie girls, because I feel like men, they got all this testosterone. They so spewed up with, you know, they're just so spewed up with jealousy sometimes that a Mixie girl would be a lot. Because I feel like, and you know, women, we do have a lot of emotions. We get caught up in our feelings. And I feel like when you Mixie and you know mad girls and mad guys, especially if you know like mad guys, I feel like you might smash a few of them when you Mixie. I don't care. You're mad that I'm starting rumors about Mixie people. I don't care. She's always in the limelight. Don't let her be Mixie and look the fuck good either, bitch, and be fly. Like, that's a recipe for disaster. I don't feel like a man could handle a Mixie girl, like, for real. Like, I feel like women, we barely can handle a Mixie guy, but a female, bitch. They like a girl who likes to party, constantly go out, has mad friends, knows all the tea, knows all the deets. And she not a celebrity, because celebrities, that's their job, you know, to go to parties. And I'm talking about a girl who, this is not her job to have friends. It's not her job to go to parties. She's just fucking Mixie. She knows everything. That's a lot. That's a lot for a man. I feel like, I don't know. I'm not a guy, but I feel like most guys can't handle that. And I feel like a lot of times too, most of the time, we kind of want somebody, like, see, there was the stay in the crib girl, then the Mixie girl. We kind of want to balance, like, even if you dating a guy, like, I feel like if a guy's dating a girl, he doesn't want a girl that's always constantly going out, partying, clubbing, wilding, having mad fun. Like, I don't feel like they do. Like, cause it's like, do you not find fulfillment in me? Are you not having fun at home? Like, what are you escaping from by being constantly in the mix? And especially if you Mixie and bitch, you're not even a celebrity. Like, I hate a Mixie hood celebrity bitch. And I mean hood celebrity. Like, bitch, you're only popular on your block. You're not even popular in the whole fucking borough. If you was popular in the whole borough of Brooklyn, you would obviously eventually become a celebrity. Like, you know, Pop Smoke was popping. Then he got popping in Brooklyn, and then eventually somebody wanted to sign him. I'm talking about Mixie bitches where you only kind of do. It was a moment for that. It probably still is a moment where it was like girls that were like in your hood. I think it's still a area for that. They live in your hood, but they popping. They got mad followers for some weird reason, and usually sometimes they get popping depending on what they do with that following. Like Cardi B, you know. There's a market. It's definitely a market. Star Brim was a big one of them. Like, she was just popular in her hood, and then now she Cardi B friend. Well, you know, whatever. She probably was always Cardi B friend, and boom. So it's a big market for that. Like, just bitches that's just Mixie on a block or in a area, in a section or whatever the case may be. There's a big freaking market for that, and I for me, it depends, but I do think it's corny, like the hood celebrity bitches. Unless you gonna do something with your following, if you gonna only stay popping on your block, I think that's corny. OD. And I don't think nobody ever really wants that type of drama. Are they dateable? Sure, but I think eventually a guy will date you while you're mixy, but his host is to get you out of the mix and get you focused on him and building a family and a career and whatever the case may be. The mixy life is not forever. What you gonna do? I ain't gonna front. I'm Jamaican. I know West Indian people, they be in the clubs being party promoters till they like 80, bitch. I remember I be seeing flyers with Grandma CC party Thursday, like period. So I mean, it's a market for being mixy and old as fuck, and that's up to you. That's on you. The next bitch. Okay, let's not call females bitches, even though we're playing around. We're not gonna do that. The next girl is the clingy girl, and you know I talked about the clingy guy last week, and you know, clingy girl. When we get clingy, we get clingy. Our clingy is like, like we just touching your face, touching your body, touching you all over. We need to be there. We need to call your phone. Hello, good morning. How are you? Where are you? What are you doing? And yes, it can be possessive. I do feel like clingy girls are naturally possessive. Like a clingy guy maybe could be unpossessive, but a girl, I don't even think we could use the word clingy for her. If she's clingy, she's possessive. You know, she's probably had some troubles in her past relationship, and she feel like she needs to be on top of you. She needs to know where you're at, where you're doing, and where you are going. She is clingy. She is possessive. Women, we do have a tendency to be a little bit crazy. I feel like a clingy girl, child, that gotta be your cup of tea. Because some dudes love a girl. They love the drama. They love that. They love when they're out and their girl calls them and they're like, yo, babe, where are you? Like, what is going on? They love that. Some girls love that too. Toxic. If you're into the rah-rah shit, a clingy girl's for you. If you like attention, if you like to feel wanted, it's a big market for that. I feel like the clingy girl is right up your alley. She's ready. She's willing. Like I said, clingy people scare the crap out of me. Period. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I feel like it's just too much. Like, ooh. And when they're clingy, they feel like they want to be around you for everything. So if you a guy who, like, when you with your guys, you want to be with just your guys, then hey, clingy girl is definitely not for you. If you're like a guy and you feel like, I like alone time sometimes. If you're a guy and you like to feel wanted, I mean, I feel like it's a degree though. Like, I feel like sometimes you could like to feel wanted. Sometimes I like to feel wanted, but I don't want no clingy guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, my husband is definitely not super duper like clingy at all. But I like that. Like, I don't know. But sometimes you're like, I want you my attention. Like, I want you to touch me. I want you to be all on me. Like, but how often would I want that? Like, it's a degree. Like, clingy, that's the type of person that's like constantly overdoing it. So, is the clingy girl dateable? I think honestly, they're toxic. Straight there and straight to the point. That's just my opinion. The IG model. Okay, so first of all, let's get into it. Okay, the IG models. Some of those IG models are celebrities, but I heard, you know, in a celebrity T, let's get TE on the podcast, bitch. They be fucking down other rappers. Like, a lot of these IG models be getting tossed around, flipped and sauced, endorsed. Like, a lot of these celebrities done smash these same IG models. And I feel like that's how it is too. Like, if you want to date a girl, some of them Because, you know, let me, like, some of them, if you want to date a girl and she's mixy and she's about that life, that IG life, because there's a certain type of, there's influencers and then there's IG models. And IG models, they basically just, you know, they get clothes from Fashion Nova, promote their code, and that's it. They just getting free clothes and free weave, and that's it. They're not influence. They technically are influencer because they look pretty, they're gorgeous, and because we see that, we want to buy their bundles. We want to buy the clothes that they're buying. We might be inspired by outfit. I like looking at IG models page for poses and stuff, even though I don't put that much pictures on my IG page. But yeah, when I was trying to get into that market, I was like, okay, I like that pose. I'm gonna do that when I get my little picture going. Like, I used to be like that. Whatever. So it's a difference between the influencer and the IG model. So let's make sure that that's there, or whatever the case may be. IG models, to my knowledge, get tossed around. And listen, honey. I don't tell nobody how to live when it comes to sex and relationships or none of that. If you want to go out and have sex with several men, as long as you're protecting yourself so you don't get STDs and STIs and that's really it. I mean, or you're not out getting pregnant constantly and having to have mad abortions, by all means, do you, sis? Do you, beloved? Because who are you hurting if you're having protected sex? Or you're using birth control and having protected sex. Like, technically you're not harming anyone, but the thing is like, when you smashing dudes in the same circle, I would think it would have a little bit of impact on you, the female, as a person. We shouldn't care what people think about us, obviously, but would you want to do that? Would you feel comfortable? Like, sometimes we gotta sit back and think, like, would I feel comfortable smashing a guy that my friend smashed, right? So, or would I feel comfortable dating a guy that not only one of my friends smashed, but 3 of them? That's a bit much. Like, I don't want to. For me, I can only speak for me. I don't want to smash no guy. Because I know it's a market for that, probably. It's a market for everything. It's 2020, bitch. Okay? Me, personally, I'm not going to feel comfortable smashing a guy that smashed 3 of my friends. First of all, my friends, that's mad. Even when you say that out, because now when I just said that, I'm like, first of all, why would there be a guy that smashed 3 of my friends? Like, I feel like the only way that would be possible is if, like, oddly the universe just brought all him to them in different states or something, or different ways. Like, that makes 0 sense. Like, if you don't find it appropriate for you, how do you think that guy would feel? Like, that's not only thing with IG models. They're tossed around. Y'all might not want to hear that derogatory term, but it's a fact. It's a big fact, the mundo. Okay? IG models, you know, they're about their pictures, they're about their look, they're about their status. So, bitch, you might see them going to the corner store on with a full face of makeup. You gotta be ready. You have to be ready to be in the limelight, because then once they get a couple, they might want to start a couple's channel. They might want to put you on the gram. You might start getting DMs. Shit might start getting scary. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the thing with IG models, what I must say is, like, once they put who they dating on the gram, the tea starts flowing. So you have to be open to the idea of your business might hit the streets. Shit your mother didn't even know about you might hit the streets, bitch. Okay? Because once they find out you dating, like, they want to know who you are, what you do, how y'all found each other. Like, your tea is going to be spilled all over the floor. If you a rapper, how you say, do rappers watch Britt Says? You obviously don't care about that, because, you know, your business is always getting spilled out. You can't hide shit. But I feel like IG models, too, they have a bad stigma of, you know, personality lists. All they do is scroll on their phone all day, which is some girls and guys are not IG models, and they scroll on their phone all day. They're just constantly on Instagram, constantly on social media, constantly looking at Twitter. Like, who's fucking with me? Reading comments. They're just obsessed with social media. Like, IG models, to my understanding. Like, they're just obsessed with it. And that has to be something that you're into. You know, maybe IG models should date influencers, and I don't know. They often like stray to regular guys though, which makes sense. I think sometimes IG models, they're so beautiful that men are intimidated by them. And sometimes when they see them with all those followers, they're like, oh, do I want to deal with that? Rah, maybe not. So, I mean, they're dateable. They're very dateable. I don't think an IG model is not dateable, but you just got to know that her business might come on the floor too, because they get caught up in stuff. So you might, like me, somebody who's not important, I could, you know, date somebody and they won't know my sexual past, or they won't know all my dirty laundry. You could literally, sometimes IG models, they get so popping, you could Google their name and find out mad stuff about them. And sometimes, you know, some things might be sacred, and some things you wish you never knew about your partner, right? So that's one of the downfalls that come with dating an IG model, bitch. But shout out to the IG models. Next, oh God. We had the super emotional guy. What's life without a super emotional girl? Some would say that all girls are super emotional, but we're not. It's a very different spectrum. Some girls are really not that emotional. Girls, I mean, I know, you know, I've seen girls that are really extremely emotional. Like, oh my God. Ugh. I personally think it's exhausting. I don't know how a guy would handle a super emotional girl, but I think that super emotional girls are very dateable. You know why? Because I think that men view all of us that way. Like, they already naturally think that we all cry all the time. So once they get with like a girl that's like that, they're like, oh my gosh, she's such a girly girl. Y'all think that? Like, I feel like it's not like a trait that's downplaying to a man. Like, when they get a super emotional girl, it seems okay because that's the norm. See how, like, with the guy last week, we were talking about, like, we're not accustomed to a man being so emotional due to, you know, society. But with women, it's something that everyone believes that we are, where they believe we're super duper emotional, and also it impacts us. That's why a lot of times, you know, they don't want a female president because they feel like we're going to put our emotions in it, or we can't be CEOs because we're going to put our emotions in it. And there's nothing wrong with putting emotions into stuff sometimes. I feel like when you put your emotions into stuff, some of the best comes with some of the best outcomes. I think, and it sucks, due to society, it's nothing wrong with dating a super emotional girl. Because technically, that girl might be super emotional because she believes it's okay to be that emotional. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what the world and the media is telling us. Like, oh, when we get our period, we're super emotional. Or we have so much estrogen in our hormones, and it makes us so emotional. So, I mean, I feel like it could get toxic, though. Like, how many times are you gonna cry? Like, when are you gonna just turn the fuck up? Not everything's a need to shed a tear. Start cursing his ass the fuck out clean. Why would you say that to me? No. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? No, that's toxic. I should have put that bitch up there, the angry girl. No, why would you say that? You're comparing me to your mother. I don't act like your mother. I don't do stuff like that, but you know, a man love his mother. Hello, good morning. But I mean, I feel emotional can get toxic, like I said though. Like, too much crying and all that, like everything you getting sad about, like that's also sensitive. Being sensitive to stuff that could be, you might need to work some stuff through therapy. Like, sometimes girls are very sensitive. Men are too, but I think we show it sometimes like a guy will say something to us and we'll think about something that happened in the past and then we'll be like overly emotional or whatever the case may be. So I feel like it can get toxic if that is a female who's super emotional because she hasn't worked through things that she has dealt with in her past relationships or in her life. Yes, I think being super emotional could be a bit much. Is she dateable? Yes. Can it work? Sure. With a guy with a lot of patience. And there are men out there with a lot of patience. Last, but definitely not least, the ratchet girl. Duh. Like, ratchet girls are just the pinnacle of society. They really, you know, I'm a little ratchet too. I feel like everybody is a little bit ratchet. Like, for real, I do. I really feel like we're all just a pinch, a little ratchet. Like, I feel like even like the bougiest of girls do things that's ratchet. Like, they'll say that like, I really like eating something. You're like, bitch, that's weird. Like, you're ratchet. Like, I don't know. But the ratchet girl is ratchet. She's hood as fuck, ghetto as fuck. She will beat anybody ass. You better not cheat on her. Because then she gonna fuck you up. Then she gonna fuck up the nice little girl that you cheating on her, but on the side. Because you know, dudes, when they date like a hood girl, they always like, sometimes they side chick always be like prissy. And then now she gonna get beat up by the ratchet girl, child. It's gonna be too much. The ratchet girl is willing to go to jail. She don't give a fuck. She's on a 10. She's ready to roll. She's ready at all times. You feel me? She's very outspoken. Y'all can go to a restaurant and she's gonna turn the fuck up. And most women will turn up at a restaurant, but she's turning up on a level where it's just like, did you ask for that? So why the fuck the bitch didn't get it? Why is everybody looking in your face? Like, Like, she's constantly just on 1,000. She's a lot. I feel like we all could be a lot sometimes too, because I feel like sometimes I'm a lot. I'm ratchet though, so it is what it is, honestly. The ratchet girl is very dateable. I feel like I'm ratchet. I feel like the ratchet girl is very dateable. I feel like the ratchet girl is OD dateable. I don't know, that's that funny. She just gotta find the right guy for her. What we not gonna have though, I don't agree with two ratchet people dating. That I don't. Ugh, the thought of that. That's too much. Like, I hate a ratchet couple. Like, when y'all ratchet together, it's just a lot of loudness, a lot of ghetto outfits, a lot of color, a lot of screaming. Ooh. But they love each other though. Ratchet couples, a ratchet couple, you better stop. You better stop. There's probably a thing or two we could learn from them. You better stop. I think a ratchet person should date like a medium, like a ratchet girl should date like a medium guy, like a guy who's very, like, he's in the middle. Like, he could turn up a little bit, but he's mostly chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that guys like that sometimes enjoy a ratchet girl because they're not outspoken themselves and they're not like that, and so they kind of desire and love that passion that a ratchet girl has, and just how she just carries herself. Sometimes people look at like those like ratchet hood people as very confident and just true to themselves, and they don't give a fuck. Like, and it is something to be said about somebody like that, for real. Like, when you know, like, the world, especially like if you black, like, you know the world's looking at you like, oh, she's ghetto black girl, and you just like, I don't give a fuck. Period. Like, it speaks volumes. And I think ratchet people don't get enough credit, you know. They don't. I think a lot of times they just say like, oh, she's useless, she's ratchet. But, you know, she's thriving. And ratchet people, you know, have come far due to like Cardi B, Tiffany Haddish. I feel like being ratchet is just the way. Not like that. It shows, I think ratchet has a combination of real, but you can be real and not be ratchet. Let's be honest, and let's keep it 100. But you gotta give Ratchet where it's due, you know? Give credit where it's due. So a Ratchet girl's dateable, but and also a Ratchet girl needs a guy who can calm her down sometimes. Like, be like, babe. Because some Ratchet people that don't have no guidance, they don't know when to stop. They need somebody that can help them calm down, mellow out sometimes. I think that is so important. Like, babe, yo, chill out for me. Be like, only for you, babe. Only for you. I swear to God, I'm gonna chill for you. They need that. So I feel like they need somebody too that could check them. Not even check them, could just be like, yo, for me, at minimum. And they'll be like, alright, fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's one of the things, you know, that a Ratchet girl has. I'm trying to read what this question says. Are any of these types fixable or dateable? Well, I already told you that which ones are dateable. Fixable. I feel like one of them are unfixable. Like, I feel like will a gold digger always be a gold digger? I don't know. Like, do they settle down? I feel like if she get her a rich man that she loves, yeah, they could settle down. Then again, I feel like, can you fix a girl who's ambitionless? But do you want to? Some shit is like, I'm not gonna keep telling you to go get a job or something like that. Like, bitch, the ambitionless one is not fixable. That's not your fucking job. Go tell her to go fucking talk to a therapist or her mother or something, or a fucking job recruiter. Like, stop. The mixy girl, I think very fixable. I think so. I think sometimes when you're mixy, you're trying to hide from something, or you're trying to be somebody you're not. You want to feel like a celebrity, and a guy, the right one, or whomever you date, can really like mellow you out. Clingy, they need therapy. Bitch, I'm about to go down the line. IG model, you can't stop her bag, so that's not fixable. If you don't like the if you find somebody on fucking social media, you can't expect them to just come off of social media for you. So stop. If you IG model, you get into that guy is toxic. Super emotional. You can't tell somebody to not be emotional. And Ratchet, like, just let her be. So yeah, that was different types of women and how to deal with them. So I'm happy I lightened up the mood for the past 2 weeks. Next week, the topic is gonna be dope. It's not heavy, but it's gonna be a good topic. I think it's something that needs to be discussed. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm coming to you every week for the rest of the year, the rest of 2020, because bitch, we need it, right? Oh my God, the election is coming soon. So much stuff is about to pop off real soon. The holidays. I got a holiday episode coming. I'm surprised I never did a holiday episode. So I'm excited. And I will see you guys next week.